Good evening. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is the Golden Hour. Sanbonani on a brand new week. It's a happy Tuesday. My name is Namalunga Lojele. And of course, I'm so excited to be bringing you yet again another fantastic episode. And of course, guys, we like to do this live on a day-to-day basis, like a Golden Hour. We're welcoming you on a brand new week. And we hope that everyone was anticipating the show today, particularly because it is a Health Tuesday. Namuhla sabasibukeka bantindzaba high, which is called hypertension. We want to learn more about it, and of course when it comes to health issues, I like to emphasize that we can never get enough knowledge. We can never stop learning from what our health issues for the day are, and of course ways in which you can prevent yourself from getting hypertension. Just the basic knowledge that you need totikhumbuta utohlale wadi ukuthi na ufuna kuba ngumfulo ophilile njalo njalo kumele ukuthi wente njani nalokuthi udle ini, right? So we have our nurse Nokulungandwana today on the show, who's no stranger. We hope that you don't get tired of her, guys, because she has so much knowledge to share with us, and today in particular hi. So welcome to the show, guys. We hope that my fans Kaizer Chiefs are alive and doing well, like myself, guys. And we're still rejoicing, and we're still celebrating, and we're still going to be talking about it for the next 10 years if need be, right? We hope that everyone had a great weekend, because this is our first day of the show on a brand new week. So Sanemukela Ehloleni Golden Hour, and of course we just have our entertainment stories as per usual. We're going to be learning more about hypertension and just maybe a recap of the football match against Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates. So yeah, that's what we have for you guys today on the show, and we hope that it's going to be a great one. And we want to know, Guti, how was your Mother's Day? But I'm gonna start with Nokpila, because I definitely know that you went home. Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, Tilu. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How was your weekend? You didn't go home?
I didn't go home. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes,
I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't go home.
Yes.
Because my mom wasn't home.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and I was broke on the Sunday.
Course.
I did something little before the Sunday.
Okay.
But on the Sunday I was broke, because we expected to bring something on the Sunday. Right?
Yes,
and
definitely.
Then
but she knows you're gonna come through.
My mom and wangishayela wathi so you're like ngiyabonga kungikhumbuza. That's how we kicked off our conversation.
Okay.
And that was it. But yeah, I wasn't home, she wasn't there, so yeah.
Yeah, there's still lots of days to celebrate your mom. No pressure, because you always take care of her and you always look out for her.
Every time. Yeah. How was your weekend? Chiefs fan?
Chiefs fan, it was great, guys. I don't know much about soccer, but I know that I'm a fan of Kaizer Chiefs. So good, Christmas. But yeah, my weekend was great. I was home as well. Yeah, that's it.
But for sure, you had a splendid one. Yeah, there's so much trending about this particular match. But we talked just a bit about what happened over the weekend in terms of that, historic football match, that derby between Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, my dad's team, right?
Yeah.
I went to support, Mamelodi Sundowns, but then Pirates, and it always wins. But
definitely.
Good luck, at least sing number two.
Yeah.
So we touched just a bit on that and some of the trending things around the topic in terms of the pictures. There is funny pictures, memes. Neswabonile trend like social media, your Bobby Mtawung, to Kaizer Chief fans, teachers, wearing their regalia at school and all of that. Starting as Kashana Jidesnana would see Haral said my friends Kaizer Chiefs after 10 years of not pagamisaring the cup or the trophy, so we touched on that and so much. When of course on a Tuesday today, welcome to the show. My name is Nopila Masangane. What is the entire world celebrating or commemorating today? So today is what is called cough drop day, right? Do you know what a cough drop is?
No.
It's a throat lozenge. So it's another name.
Cough drop. I thought it was some sort of like a sickness.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, it drops. Okay. So cough drop is another name that has been used time and time again for so many years from the 19th century. Throat lozenges. So throat lozenges to try and block a flu, a cold and flu. On the screen. screen nasaqala nje kuba nje especially lo ngewinter nje, you know, now saqala the early symptoms of cold and flu. Take your throat lozenges azama na ukuthi athi sibalise kancane umkhuhlane, but then if it goes beyond that, make sure that you seek medical help or assistance. Go to a hospital or clinic for assistance from medical practitioner. So yeah, sika sesivele sekhatha kumakhatha kakhulu kunemoya kuyabanza lihlelina. Make sure that you take good care of the chest, and of course uhlala nawo kuma throat lozenges akho or cough drops akho. Yeah, they come in so many forms, but that's what drying laola masweety, you know, but the question is what sweetens or what makes them so sweet yet sithi silapha umkhuhlane. You know, that's a question that I ask myself too, ukuthi, you know, why are they so sweet nangabe khona la kwelaphako asusa mhlambe athi sibalisa eligciwane lemkhuhlane emtimbeni. So yeah, take good care of yourself, your kids also. It's the winter season. What else do we have today?
So today we are also celebrating Sex Difference in Health Awareness Day. So it's basically a day whereby we are shining a light on the fact that symptoms that men have and symptoms that females have of the same health issue is not the same. So this was started by a non-profit organization that was basically shedding light to Guti. Dokotela needs to be one that is very educated and understands Emma symptoms of both females and males because they could be so different. So an example of this could be the fact that if a female is having a heart attack, she could be feeling sick to her stomach, right? But if a man is experiencing a heart attack, the only pain that he would feel is just by his chest, right? So it's very important to note that females and males respond differently to symptoms and also differently to medication. So it's very important to understand, you know, understanding the female body as itself and understanding the male body. Okay, if a person is reacting negatively to medication, what could be the cause, right? So that you understand how to better treat the symptoms. So it's just basically to shine a light on the fact that we are different people, we are different, you know, human beings, and we experience different symptoms and different, you know, responses to medication or reactions to medication. So if you're a doctor or if you're a health practitioner, you need to take into account also the person's history. Is there a person that was suffering from a heart attack? Is it hereditary? All of those things come into play when treating a patient. So it goes to show that if you want to be an aspiring doctor or aspiring health practitioner, you must definitely put in the work to get all of that information before treating a patient. So that's what today is about, and that's what we're looking at today. Anyway, we're speaking of Mother's Day. We want to recap, guys. We saw that, you know, people were posting their moms, beautiful messages, guys, and also it's that time where it's a celebration, but also it's said at the same time because people also, you know, celebrate their moms who they wish were still alive, and you know that's never really nice to see, especially on your news feed on a day that people are celebrating. You also wish that you could be celebrating someone close to your heart. But anyway, your moms are beautiful, guys, and I hope that they were celebrated by like several colors, no matter 7 colors, whatever the case may be. We hope that you spoiled them, and if you didn't get to spoil them, there's always month end to make up for it whenever you do have the money and the funds.
Yeah, and of course, you know, your tourist destination places or hangout spots will give you all the content, all things Mother's Day, right?
Yes.
So if you read the newspaper, scroll through social media, you saw what was happening. Right? But
Yes.
are really grateful for what you guys have basically done, you know, beyond the messages, beyond the love that you show your mothers on a daily. You took them out, you know, to pamper them, you know, a nice time, sit with them, and go there the entire Mother's Day, right? So we have our nest today on the Golden Hour. Hypertension. She is on the show and ready to go.
Eswatini TV has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Eswatini Communications Commission. We are committed to reporting news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that does not amount to hate speech or the description of gratuitous violence or explicit sex. For any complaints of our programming, please contact us on 2411-9600 or email info@eswatinitv.co.sz. You can also contact the Eswatini Communications Commission on 2406 7000 or write a letter to ECCOM on PO Box 7811 Mbabane. Email address is info@ecom.org.sz.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi naloku wakwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna senze ukukhiqiza lokusemndeni.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag the golden hour. Hashtag we want to talk about all things sports right now. Maybe like just a recap of, you know, the famous match that was happening this past Saturday in Durban. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's where it was happening. And of course, before just feel like the match, there was a lot people had planned, especially our locals this side. There was a lot people had planned to attend the match. But kwabese sekuphuma press release ukuthi bamfu batawurefundwa imali tabo, batawurefundwa imali ematikiti because you know, there wasn't enough capacity for the people that had actually bought the tickets. Yaqala lapho ke raw. Some of us, you know, who wanted to go see the match ended up saying, you know, it's fine, let's not even get to that point. And a lot of people were disappointed because they couldn't go live to see the match because most of the people that were surrounding, or the people that stay closer to Durban, didn't even have the tickets. So you can imagine now the people, basically the people that bought the tickets are people that stay so far away from Eswatini. You know, people had to travel to go see the match. So now, what if like you had to book for like a whole plane to go to Durban, book for accommodation and all of those things? So before attending the match. But anyway, and then the actual day happened where people had to go and support their favorite teams, guys. And I don't know what to say about that, but we are just happy that Kaizer Chiefs has something to show after 10 years.
That's my question. Because all of a Sunday, Sunday means in Tata. But now that I remember,
yes,
Penn Shai sat down like two or 3 weeks back.
Yes.
Manga posisi.
Yes.
Yeah, ngaqala ngabona lapho ma Eagles.
Yes.
You know, phakama Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
Sayidibona winning komishi ba poster labanye seba ngaconnect lala because bashaya ba Melody Sundowns, which was quite crazy. So niqala lapho lokuthini game ne the confidence, you know, and a kind of a build up to, you know, the game that we saw, you know, over the past weekend. But yeah, you know, such an amazing and historic game.
Yes.
You know, there's so many fun facts that are now, or facts, let me not say fun facts, but facts that are circulating social media, especially, you know, about the history that, you know, our Kaizer Chiefs has been able to make over the past weekend. So, Sabane lucky number, the starting number 10, in a way, right? We're going to call it a lucky number.
Yes.
Because for over 10 years, it's been over 10 years, banga win, you know, so the last time I win, right?
Yeah, so it's been 10 years.
It's been over 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So the number 10, right?
Right.
So apparently, I didn't watch the game because
Yes.
I'm neither or
Yeah.
Chiefs or Pirates fan.
Yes.
You know, so Serena scored, you know, their first goal on the 10th minute. You
Yes.
know? And then we have their second goal now by Korile, you know, on the second half of the game, you know. But yeah, Serena now pins up just number 10, more like a star player, you know, of the team, you know. So yeah, quite an intriguing, you know, match.
Yes.
And of course, let's say Takbuga also is how people have been excited about how this team won on social media. So there's so many speculations, or maybe things that maybe, especially the Pirates team or fans of the Pirates team, think made Kaizer Chiefs win or walk away with the Nedbank Cup, right? So kwaqala nje bathi liyasha banikiwe the penalty yeqala thile, because there's that penalty on the 10th minute, but it was a giveaway. Rafaela ungetelo imali angathi Mtaung what ubonakela chafa taliqingo no abekasenda e-wallet or whatsoever.
We don't
But
know,
yeah,
yes.
that 10th minute
penalty
was a giveaway.
Yes.
To Chiefs, right?
Yes.
And then Pirates yabuya scorer kwaba balinganisa, and then on the second half of the game baphinze bakora asati kwendeke but bathi kucekiswe midfield icekisiwe i-Pirates esiswini. I do not know how true that is. As a Kaizer Chiefs fan, ngwena ungasitshela ngcono ukuthi nithenga bobani mina uzoniwina.
Guys, yabona indaba yekuthengwa nekungathengwa, we can't exactly say much about it, right? But nje, as a coach, you need to know when to pull your move, right? I'm not denying nor confirming the allegations, but I'm saying that as a coach, you need to know when to swap your players. You need to know what's okay. It's a do or die situation, and obviously the deciding goal was on the second half, as Nokpila has mentioned, on the second half before the game ended. So we're very excited over that. But vele gwashinja ema midfielder ngala on both teams. Angaje ukuthi iyaceka noma iyaba tight, but all we know is that Kaizer Chiefs was able to score a second goal, guys, and then making them the winners of the Nedbank Cup. But speaking of the game still, we know that on social media there's a lot of memes that are going around. Labanye bathi yo injabulo leqala Saturday namhla Tuesday so la ipheli ngathi seyihambelana nekuphapha. Like there's a lot. It's been over 10 years, but solo niyakhuluma one trophy. But I just feel like Kaizer Chiefs, not that Kaizer Chiefs is not deserving. I feel like it is deserving of, this win, but it's just the celebrations that are prolonging and they're making other fans to be upset as well. Next year because we really win as the team. We really win, guys.
I hope your relegation I knew get it because you might win 7 million only to find that you guys are sneaking closer to relegation. But then there's also a question: did Taung and Koza communicate anything about fixing the match and making someone win?
I mean, there's been like a picture of him circulating when he's pressing his phone. I don't know who was calling, guys, but he was on the phone. It could have been anyone. It could have been the referee, for what? We don't know. It could have been someone up above there. We don't know. I'm not making any accusations, but I was just saying that it could have been anyone that he was calling. So, yeah. Siyathi nalo ukuthi kuthiwa thina Sundowns nyalo thina sesiyawina ngoba ngijanjani.
No, I'm saying vele ne Sundowns nayo on a different league or level of its own. Vele we had to give it to Chiefs.
Yeah, like give us something. It's been over 10 years, guys. Like give us a chance.
Yeah.
We've been struggling so hard for
this. Now let's talk about what people have been posting on social media.
Yes.
There's a teacher that I saw. We ain't just calling it clad on their Kaizer Chiefs regalia. People like the students, the kids were just laughing, you know. So, people really love their team, and Kaizer Chiefs happens to be the most followed team in South Africa, if not in Africa, but Africa and Bangaran. But social media, there's millions upon millions of followers on Facebook. Before getting into the show, over 5 million followers on Facebook. Ilanzelo Pirates with 4-point-something million followers. Was 2-point-something million. But then, the numbers speaks for themselves on social media. It is the most followed team. But what can we say? Over the past weekend, it has been my hope, and prayer, for Chiefs to lose that other game that they play against Pirates, that league game, which still places, Orlando Pirates on the second position on the log, and then winning this particular game, which was crucial for them. They've been investing in marketing, social media, and all that for so many years consistently. But Jessica Mtaung Lapa, who handles the marketing department for Kaizer Chiefs, it has been quite good to see, an inspirational team indeed. What can we say? But that's it for our ngathini, a summation of, you know, what happened over the weekend in terms of this historic derby.
Definitely, and I think one thing that I appreciate about Kaizer Chiefs fans is the fact that they are very loyal. Imagine having a team that hasn't won anything in over 10 years, but was still here vouching for it. So
imagine dating someone for 10 years and no marriage.
And no marriage, can you imagine? So I feel like, you know, Kaizer Chiefs fans are definitely very loyal and they have persevered. And just congratulations, guys. And it doesn't mean that now we are back in the game like that. We still need to work hard as a team to keep on getting more trophies. And the same goes for any other team, really, that's on the league. And, you know, yeah, congratulations to Kaizer Chiefs. And, yeah, may the enjoyment keep persevering.
Ditheni ingoma the Kaizer Chiefs?
But I'm a fan at heart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a fan at heart.
Okay, Makosi for sure.
I'm a Makosi for life,
for
definitely.
life. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, with that said, let's take a short break on the show. And asibuya siyaqhubeka nehlelo Golden Hour.
This is my first time here.
Hopefully it's my last. My dear friends, here we are, all in our true colors. Your transfer papers, your key to the Mvule Kingdom.
Hi, I'm
Lisa, I know.
Here are your clippers. Clippers.
Who's in? We are perfect. We run this place. So let's act like it.
Solomon, the head prefect. Quick, is my collar straight?
We'll be out of Mvule High before you can pronounce the word scholarship.
We have a mystery to solve. The only way we can make a difference is if we stick together.
When I'm head prefect, each and every student will have a voice.
You need to show that new squeak in Mvule.
I hate this school!
Eswatini TV has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Eswatini Communications Commission. We are committed to reporting news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that does not amount to hate speech or the description of gratuitous violence or explicit sex. For any complaints of our programming, please contact us on 2411-9600 or email info@eswatinitv.co.sz. You can also contact the Eswatini Communications Commission on 2406-7000 or write a letter to ECCOM on PO Box 7811 Mbabane. Email address is info@ecom.org.sz.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba-researche, bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna sente ukukhicita lokusemndeni.
Welcome back to the show, everyone, on a Health Tuesday. Today we're learning more about hypertension, aka high, guys. This is basically now that's what I'm telling you. High, akasakhona ukuphefumula kusuka sengjani. And Nesnokulunga Ndwanda is here today to tell us more about it. Not to tell us more about it, rather to educate us more about hypertension. Nokuthi ubona ngani umuntu makane high, and also what it is. I feel like it's very important to also define it. Singati diagnose guys, we don't even know all of the facts. Hypertension. Hello, Mr. Kulunga Ndwanda, njani?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
Hi. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
It's always a
you.
pleasure to have you. So speaking of hypertension, can you tell us more about what it is and ukuthi umuntu ubona ngani kahle kahle ukuthi une-hypertension?
Okay, hypertension is basically the elevation of BP.
Yes.
So blood pressure yakho ngetulu kwale blood pressure lesiyigadzile lama numbers lesiwagadzile ezibhaka health. And normal normal blood pressure siye sinike i-range lethi letinombolo letlangetulu lesikubita ngethi i-systole. It's 90 up to 120.
Okay.
That is according to the World Health Organization. Then i-diastole letlangephasi it's 60 to 80. So once kwaba ne change in those numbers, then yes, bese sesikhwisha i-hypertension. But again, the hypertension specifically diagnosed ukuthi this person has been coming for a follow-up of the checkups for 3 consecutive times, and then lapho ke solo iphakeme le BP yakhe. And we have tried ukuthi sende ema management, ema skills lesithi ke okay, i-diet yakho noma the stressors, we have ruled them out. Then is diagnosed with hypertension.
Okay, so we're speaking of diagnosing, we're speaking of systole ukuthi mele ibe 60 to 120. How do you diagnose hypertension kahle kahle nje ke?
The first diagnosis, let's say it's the blood pressure on its own.
Okay.
So once we start blood pressure then we are querying hypertension.
Okay.
Then specifically send them follow-up questions, of which is sign constant headaches. Complaining I am having constant headaches every now and then. So ngiyawanatha amanti ngizame ukuthi mhlawumbe after senginathe amanti my headache will be okay.
Yes.
But still ngiqhubeke ngiphathele headache yami. Ngithi nasengihleli ngive-siyeti singishaya. Leso siyeti ke bese usukudlile yini nabe athi yes ngisuke ngidlile. Then lapho we also siyamaka ukuthi okay, it ticks for the hypertension. So bese sesiphinde sesenda lama follow-up checkups. Okay, please come back next week. We'll do another blood pressure.
Okay.
Please come back next week. We'll do another blood pressure. If very sick cancer still is settled, then very system hypertension.
Okay. Can we talk about some of the risk factors of having a high blood pressure or hypertension? Umuntu usuka at risk of getting what basically, or how does that affect their overall health when you have hypertension and it's untreated, or you still don't know that you have it? What could be the things that are possible outcomes that happens to that particular person?
The most one kubangema strokes. So someone who's constantly having elevated blood pressure or at risk of having a stroke.
Okay.
So loyal CSC, that is why for someone who's having an uncontrolled hypertension, definitely that person is very in a admitter esibhedlela, so that we can do close monitoring and then send in my labs and see where can we try to manage the doses, titrate kanjani ukuze sikhone to reach the level lesiyidingako yale BP. Another one, it can be kidney injuries, because we know once kwaze kwathi hypertension sikhuluma ngekuthi loyo muntu loyo, it's basically about the heart, and the heart is responsible for production of ingadi in our body. So kwaze kwaba khona la ngasarichi kahle lama ingadi khona, definitely we're gonna have my systems abese akasakhona ukusebenza kahle. So that's the most common ones. Let's see what anticipate if someone is having a hypertension.
Okay. Are there any maybe signs and symptoms that a person can look out for because when you're speaking of hypertension, it's probably something that it's okay. Any signs and symptoms that a person needs to look out for before even getting to the hospital. What are the main characteristics of, hypertension that a person needs to look out for?
As I said, the constant headaches.
Headaches, yes.
Please try whenever you're having constant headaches. Lama constant headaches, please go. We are going to just BP checkup.
Okay.
If you're having those constant dizziness, CAD.
Okay.
So if you're having constant dizziness and the constant headaches, because that is the main sign and that is the main symptom lesbanayo. BP.
Okay.
Yes, so then if you have been doing the BP checkups, yes, so very so we are BP. Please try. No ipagame once.
Yes.
But because also we are also dealing with emergencies or a move.
Yeah.
If a kaya who has been diagnosed with hypertension, definitely are at a risk of getting that hypertension in the longer run.
Okay. And also, is it something that is curable? Because the school meeting and medication, it's exceeding the optimal number that it's supposed to be. You recommend that person or you put them under medication. So can you speak to me about the medication that is being administered to people that are living with hypertension or people that have hypertension? Is it different medication for different cases of, because in Kabagusi stages or is it the same medication for everyone?
It depends on the severity of the blood pressure and how are we able to control it.
Okay.
So there is a mild blood pressure. Definitely those labag my blood pressure yes by go HCTZ.
Okay.
So that is one of the most labayati or medication BP. It's HCTZ. Okay. Then if we're not able to control your BP, maybe we'll put you on HCTZ and put you in another medication. Enalapril, Aldomed, Captopril, but it depends on the severity of the blood pressure. And again, job being total BP is controllable. If it's controllable and sort of you are on the medication and then we find now your BP is controllable, we will stop the medication to see in yellow are you still going to have an elevated blood pressure or so we can continue with the medication. Some of the people you find go to on the medication at the long run, the medication. But once they experience the same symptoms, we advise them to come to the clinic so that we can help you. Because some people that will have, there's what we call pregnancy-induced hypertension.
Yes.
There are stresses around pregnancy, then they'll come on that medication during that pregnancy. And after pregnancy, everything will go back to normal. So labo but once experience the symptoms that we have mentioned, definitely on the medication. Sometimes it's a lifelong, but for adults above 50 or 40, you can't but for laba young, we even work around their diet, their health, lifestyle. So we cut somewhere, because you might find because the job should the risk factors. If you're obese or you're having a weight, overweight, so definitely you are at a risk of having that hypertension. But once we maintain a level weight on the normal size or on the right size, you can also definitely don't need the medication because your lifestyle has already changed and so godly. And even your diet is also okay. So we just work around and look around and go see what are the risk factors that are causing you to be hypertensive.
Okay. And speaking of, some of the lifestyle changes that you're talking about, being overweight, what are some of the things that a person can do to look out for themselves in terms of hypertension, in terms of the diet as well, what are some of the things that, especially the youth, because I feel like now we're being exposed to a lot of things. If it's not your vapes, it's too much alcohol. If it's not that, it's not exercising enough. So what are some of the lifestyle changes that you can advise that a person tries out so that they prevent themselves from being in a position whereby they have hypertension?
Basically, a very healthy lifestyle. Number one, healthy lifestyle. Let's cut on the junk food that we're eating.
Okay.
Let's try see ban lavasha. At least let's walk around.
Yeah.
Go for trainings. If you're not even affording to go on a gym, you can just in the morning take a walk or run. Then let's cut the alcohol use.
Yeah.
Yes. Now it's also a risk factor in terms of the hypertension.
Okay.
Let's cut on the smoking, because also vaping and smoking, it's another risk factor in terms of the hypertension. And then we can also try see in my diet cut a lot of salts, because really one of the most risk factor or the risk when it comes to diet, it's the salt. Because now the salt, the physiology around the hypertension, there is too much absorption of water, and then BP. So let's try to see cut on the salt that we're taking. Let's just have salt to taste, not to go to
Yes.
So definitely some of the spices, yes, we are living in a world where we are having a lot of spices. Some they are healthy, but some they will just cause the hypertension, because none of my spices really. They are causing a hypertension.
Salt to taste, not too much salt.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Nurse Noglung. It's always a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our beautiful nurse today on the show talking to us on hypertension, cut down on the salt, also make a lot of lifestyle changes, and of course be a person that is always, physically active. Take a walk, don't be a couch potato, exercise your body and also have a healthy diet to eat. I think that those are just the main things that have to go with any health issue that you might have, or any health subjects that we're talking about, or condition that we're talking about. It requires one to be physically active, exercise, also watch your diet, right? And also your weight as well. Just try to be, maintain your body weight. Don't be overweight, because that can also lead to hypertension. We hope that the conversation was delightful, guys. And of course, we'll be right back after the break.
Welcome to Eswatini Lifestyle. This is your ultimate guide to the entertainment, to the lifestyle and the culture of Eswatini.
Eswatini Lifestyle. Eswatini Lifestyle. Eswatini Lifestyle. From 6:30 to 7 p.m. On Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
On Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
Dive into a thriving and diverse art scene. Simply follow our hosts in Artsy Africa.
Come with me.
6 African cities, so many voices. What attracted me was the large canvas for expression. These artists are reshaping how we see contemporary art. Artsy Africa.
Have a look.
The vibrant series on DW.
Welcome back to the show. Siyaqhubeka nehlelo iGolden Hour on a Health Tuesday. Sifuna ukubuka lo tindzaba leti besematheni, over the past weekend, and of course lethambe phambili, getting into today. So yeah, kunengi. Nomcebo Zikode, what's up? What's happening? Open mic. Ngiyathi ukuthi there was a court battle. There was, something going on in the courts, between yena nomcebo naye open mic. Lesiyati ukuthi be controversial. Nabo makhathi bakhalile open mic. Master K Kelechi uKhaleng open mic, and so many other artists, you know, they be ba gusto the stables open mic.
So yeah, Lena, it's very tricky, but as we kindly wait for our information to pull up, Namtebo basically took them to court over the song Jerusalem, right? She basically was not happy with how everything went. And of course, we want to talk about open mic being, you know, quite controversial when it comes to these things. So the Grammy Award-winning singer has lost her legal case against open mic. And the court has told her that she needs to deliver 2 albums before she can part ways in open mic. Because you know how you sign these record deals and you never know what are they saying, for how long. So now the court was like, she needs to deliver 2 more albums, and of course she's not happy about that, and she's not happy about how everything was basically handled in the court. She wants to part ways in the open mic, but at this point in time she has to deliver the 2 albums. So yeah, the High Court ruling not only was in favor of the label, but also ordered the artist to deliver the albums before her contract can be terminated. So the judgment was handed on 9 May, and it marked the latest chapter in a long-running legal dispute between Zigot and Open Mic, which began in 2022. So while the core of their disagreement centers around the global hit song Jerusalem, specifically whether Zigot co-composed the track with producer Master KG, the court was asked not to decide on that matter. So instead, Zigote had approached the court over issues related to her Grammy-winning song Bayete, seeking to compel Open Mic to meet its contractual accounting obligations. So she requested full disclosures on revenue streams, including synchronization, income, bookings as well. She wants to know how much are they paying me, and of course how much is the record label getting, and endorsement deals as well, physical sales of Jerusalem. She wants to know the royalties also that are paid to the song Jerusalem to Master KG kusing malini. She basically wants the information out there, because uvangazi uthi le mali ngathi bayayincinda bayayifihla, which is always the case. So in 2022, the parties reached a settlement that was made, and an order of the court rather. The agreement included a provision that Zigote via her company Emazulwini Productions would enter into a 50-50 joint venture with Open Mic for future recordings to be released through Africori. So however, nearly a year later, Zigote returned to court, arguing that the joint venture agreement was not legally enforceable and expressing her wish to terminate it. So the court dismissed the application, and Open Mic Productions managing director Lionel Jamela welcomed the judgment, saying he had always believed in the strength of the case, right? So that's always the case when you win. So he claimed he had invested heavily on Zigote's career, saying she became a millionaire as a result of the label's support. So yeah, it's just wishy. This one was written by Anna Shumba by Music in Africa website. That's where the story is. So yeah, it's always the case when it comes to record. Isn't it? He had a problem with his basically label, and he decided to go solo. I feel like when you're an artist, they are valid. When you start out great, and then I don't know I think it's just understanding the money that they get and the money that you get, and then ikala lapho lenking.
Yeah, antu sayinu lambile thi.
Yeah.
Wasayinu lambile. That's where the problem starts, right? So on another big story, international story, Leo the 14th is the new pope, right? So siyadbuta last week utsi papa lo musha kutoba ngubani. So even before his name was announced from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, crowds below were chanting, "Viva Ari Papa, long live the Pope." So that's what it says. So Robert Francis Prevost, was 69 years of age, has become the 167th Pope in history. So yeah, so Robert Francis Prevost, that's his real name. He's the first American to fill the role of Pope, although he's considered as much a cardinal from the Latin American because of the many years he spent as a missionary in Peru. So born in Chicago, batal bakhe Spanish and Italian, Leo served as an altar boy and was ordained in 1982. So although he moved to Peru 3 years later, he returned regularly to the U.S. to serve as a priest and a prior in his home city. So nguye ke papa wethu lo musha nami ngathi papa wethu. But he spent 10 years as a local parish pastor and as a teacher at a seminary in Trujillo in northwest Peru. So early attention will focus on Leo the 14th's pronouncements to see whether he continues predecessors' reforms and the Roman Catholic Church. So in choosing his papal name, Leo the 14th has signified a commitment to dynamic social issues. That's according to experts. So the first pontiff to use the name Leo, whose papacy ended in 461, met at Attila and Han and persuaded him not to attack Rome. So there was the battle then. So that's the story. Quite an interesting one. At least in Roma, holy. So this is our story from the BBC.
And I heard he's the first Pope from the States. Is it States? Where is it from? America. He's the first Pope from America. Really?
Yeah.
Well, you said 267. He's the first one from America.
Of American descent.
Oh, okay. That's a first. We celebrate that. I mean, that can only mean good things as well for, the Catholic Church. And we also want to talk about Nandi Madida launching her new podcast titled The Motherhood Network. She launched it on Mother's Day. So she launched her new podcast, The Motherhood Network. And of course, she is a mother of 2 kids, 8-year-old son Shaga and 6-year-old daughter Nefertiti. So with that seems like every second celebrity launching a podcast these days. That is the case. Being a singer in her own right and being married to one of the industry's most sought after music producers and artists, a podcast centered on pop culture seems like the most convenient low-hanging fruit for Madita. So she didn't want to do that. She says mothers need a village. So she says it's important that they are supported. She says becoming a mother opened her eyes to a mother's needs for empowerment, information, and a sense of community. So she has already recorded the episodes of the series of her podcast, and some of the women she has sat down with include media personality and businesswoman Basitsana Khumalo, one of South Africa's leading pediatricians, Dr. Nelile Balfour, and the Chancellor of Wits University, Dr. Judy Dlamini. I can't wait for this one. It's giving women empowerment and supporting each other, taken from The Citizen by Bongosi Tiwane.
Yeah, so the first episode is already out.
It's already out, yes.
She's presenting. That's my problem.
She's presenting. She's not podcasting. She's not talking. She's not
conversating.
Yes, like how people do it in a podcast.
Just chat. Just talk. She's presenting. It's like, hey.
I was so
Watch it. Maybe you feel differently about it, right? True. So on another story, Zimbabwean billionaire Strive Masiyiwa is set to build an AI factory in South Africa. So Strive Cassava Technologies has announced an exciting partnership with NVIDIA to build Africa's first AI, artificial intelligence factory in South Africa. So CNN's Nell Lewis said this groundbreaking project will go beyond just a data center. So this is one of the biggest projects that we're looking forward to. Quite a big change and shift for our science and technology in Africa, not only in South Africa, because this will not impact South Africa but the rest of us. So NVIDIA supercomputers, which use graphic processing units or GPUs, will be deployed at Cassava's data centers in South Africa from as early as June. So this project has not yet been launched. So maybe the first or early stages of the project June. So that's establishing the AI factory that is. So this one is being rolled out across companies and other facilities in countries like Egypt, Kenya, Morocco, and Nigeria. So Africa is falling behind the global AI boom due to its lack of computing power. So this is one of the change-shifting, strategies that Masiyiwa is bringing about. So analysis from Zindi, a community of 80,000 AI builders across 52 African countries, found that only 5% of Africa's AI practitioners have access to computational power for research and innovation. So young we strive, we are strive on the screen. Tilo, this guy has been, brains behind so many, let's say developmental project, AI, business, you name it, tech, whatsoever, especially in Africa. I like the fact that Agashili Velake, Nigeria, but charity begins at home. So everything began in his country, and now it's taking such a big project that will impact the rest of Africa to South Africa, and thus the rest of the world.
Yes, AI, guys. AI is taking over the world. We know that we want to, be people that are innovative, be people that, talk about the latest technology. And of course, last week we were talking about the latest in AI. So I'm looking forward to it. We saying open-minded, sabi as much, and I feel like it's going to be great when it comes to economically developing our countries and all of those sorts.
Yeah, and every reason why we should, choose careers in STEM now, right? So the opportunities are there, the job opportunities are being created and opened each and every day. You read the newspaper, open up your TV, you open social media, there's something new that is happening. So big things happening out there. So that's it for our show today on the Golden Hour, a Health Tuesday. September kuthini benesikhathi lesimnanzi nifundzile nga hypertension sithe nesinkhumbude ukuthi nanesibhedlela nigcobise tibuntu.
Definitely. Guys, take care of yourselves. We'll see you guys on a Family Wednesday.
Boom.
I was very convinced that I had what they were looking for.
At the Lopeni, Segune senior citizens that are expected to pay marriage. How best do you think the country can handle it, that part?
Emma rates by definition. Agabugi lo mundu. That's the reality.
The money issue.
Which one?
When we were in Matsapa, you went out of the kingdom once in a hand of 100 grand.
Oh my gosh. You know that one, maybe call me back